Hi, this is the voice of Heidie Calero with another economic capsule on the Puerto Rico economy. Those of you who are interested in receiving more notifications and more economic analysis, to go to YouTube and give us a like under the voice of Heidie Calero. Today we are going to analyze a very important headline which appeared in El Nuevo Dia, the local newspaper in Puerto Rico, which said that the governor-elect Pierluisi is going to face no cash problems with the Treasury Department when he assumes power as of January 2nd, 2021. We would like to analyze that statement, whether it's true or not. Let's look at some of the statistics that the Department of Treasury publishes, and the latest figures that we have are through August of 2020. We know that the Authority for Financing Advisory and Fiscal Agency, in English, has another Treasury TSA, another account which has some of the same items, but it's different. So I'll just stick with the published information of the Department of Treasury. And here in this graph, we are depicting on a monthly basis and as a fiscal year. Say 2019, it's this blue line that you see in this graph, and it runs from July 2018 through June 2019. Fiscal year 2020, the orange line, runs from July 2019 through June 30 of 2020, and fiscal year 2021, of which we only have 2 months as published by the Department of Treasury, is July-August of 2020. Notice the trends. Up to about January of 2020, that is our fiscal year, you saw this increase on a monthly basis compared to the trend that was occurring in the past year of fiscal year 2019. But once COVID-19 hits Puerto Rico, and that started in February through June 2020, compared to June of 2019, we have a loss. Treasury did not receive in the general fund net revenues. They didn't receive $2.9 billion. That's a lot of cash that is very difficult to really replenish. And notice the differences. In February, 46% in February 2020 compared to 2019. In March, it's less 29% compared to 2019. In April, the biggest, negative 68% compared to 2019. In May, negative 44%. In June, negative 35%. And notice what is happening then for fiscal 2021. It's below fiscal year 2020. So that trend, unless it reverts itself, and we don't know whether that is going to happen or not, really doesn't augur really good news in terms of this cash for Treasury. Let's look at some of the categories of the general fund, the net revenues, and for fiscal year 2019 through compared with fiscal year 2020, we lost, or Treasury did not receive, the general fund did not receive $2.1 billion. Remember in the graph above that I showed you before, the first half of calendar year 2020 was good. It was above calendar year 2019. But the second half was not that good. And so we have $2.1 billion. And notice that almost 80% of the categories for the general fund are in income tax of individuals, Law 154, which is the tax that foreign corporations pay when they export, especially to the U.S. This is the income tax of corporations, and this is the sales and use tax, which is the mustard orange that you see there, and then other categories. Each of those categories is below. Notice that we have an overall 18% in terms of general fund net revenues, but the categories of individual taxes, negative 17, in terms of Law 154, negative 29%, in sales and use tax, negative 17%. Remember, during COVID-19, we were closed, most of those other services and retail trade, And in terms of the SUT, it's negative 11%. So overall, quite a cash flow that is not entering the general fund. Let's look then at one of these categories, because the general fund receives from the sale and use tax the remnants, or whatever is left after covering initially the servicing of the COFINA bonds. Once that is covered, then the rest enters the general fund. And notice here again, the same fiscal periods on a monthly basis. The blue line is 2019 fiscal year. The orange segment is 2020 fiscal year. And notice that, especially again, the same trend as of February of 2020 compared to 2019, it's below. This period, fiscal year 2019, fiscal year 2020, for the sales and use tax, we have a shortfall of 625 million. Notice that's just the impact on net revenues to the general fund. It's even more of an impact on the economy, as I have shared with you in other economic capsules. And in 2021, we see that it is above, it started above July, August compared to 2020 or even 2019. So it seems that in terms of the sales and use tax, once you cover the COVID, and this is the COFINA issue, you really are covering that servicing of that debt. So overall, I think that Governor-elect, there's going to be a shortfall of cash that you will need, because as of 2021, the Fiscal Oversight Board has indicated that Puerto Rico has to start paying its public debt. That's about $6 billion in in servicing of that debt, including corporations and the central government. You have to pay as go, the pensions, $2.3 billion, and you have to return to the contributions of these pensioners, their contributions that were borrowed to pay as you go the pensions. Well, that's adjustment plan by the fiscal board. It's almost $1.5 billion. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is a lot of cash that is not going to be there, and that the new government has to work with the Fiscal Oversight Board in terms of trying to generate more economic growth, more public policies that will stimulate that growth that is necessary to fill all these fiscal revenues. Until the next capsule, stay safe. Thank you.